Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time Disc Golf, Women's Open in Maryland edition number 2, presented by Prodigy Disc. I'm joined by Becky Sonnheim.
Hello everybody.
This is going to be round 2, part 1. This video is presented by Rice Properties Group. They're a realty group based in Fairfax, Virginia, but they have contacts and expertise all over Maryland, Virginia, and District of Columbia. You can find them online at ricepropertiesgroup.com. And Ryan is a disc golfer. He's very supportive of many disc golf tournaments, including this one.
He is, and actually Ryan played for Team Nova for VTI for a couple of years. He is an avid disc golfer, and he is always willing to promote the sport for women. So thank you, Ryan.
So we've got a good lead card coming today. Going into round 2, our leader is Margaret Sassaman. She's at even par. Becky, you're at 1 up. Allie Stone and Sarah Taylor are 5 and 6 up, respectively.
Yeah, this was my first time playing with Sarah. She's actually an Ultimate player, has been playing Ultimate since 2005. And when I asked her how long she was playing disc golf, she said, oh, with these discs? And she said since October of last year. So it's great to see a woman that's only been playing, 8-9 months come out on the pro circuit.
Yeah, this is her first tournament ever. She's played over 100 Ultimate tournaments. Her last one was actually in Spain.
So this round we are playing 10 through 27. So we started on hole 10, which is a par 4. Margaret decided to kind of take the righty route on this, which is a little bit more wooded, but could get a little bit more direct towards the basket.
Absolutely. With these two lanes dividing, you just have to make a choice right off the tee how you want to, section the hole off.
Yeah, and for me being a lefty, it was a pretty easy decision to have the lefty hyzer route to take.
We're going to see here that Allie's going to take that same line, try to throw a turnover shot. She'll hyzer out of it a little bit. I think she was going with a D3 there, and that could pinch her line to the basket a little bit.
Yeah, just you want to stay clear a little bit of the woods on the left side. Sarah looks like she has a similar shot as Allie and kind of ended just in the woods a little bit too.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see that Sarah has pure Ultimate mechanics. She's obviously very familiar with understapled discs, and her footwork doesn't really look like a conventional disc golfer, but she's going to make it work.
Yeah, it definitely works for her. And her boyfriend, Corey, also caddied for her, who's also an Ultimate player. Looks like Allie just ticked a tree a little bit and should maybe have about, 35, 40 footer.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a scary putt, though.
Yeah, it does go downhill just a little bit behind the basket. Looks like Sarah did the same thing, struck a tree.
Yeah, she was going forehand with her underworld there. Margaret kind of has a straight downhill shot at this, which can be difficult because of distance control. She's going with a sparkly AVR that she calls Homie, and she scoots to pretty long.
Yeah. Right here, I was just trying to do a simple hyzer shot just to get up towards the basket, but unfortunately that log caught me, so I'll have a little bit of a long putt.
Yeah. Were you going with your pig there?
I was. Pig is a very overstable disc for me, so it almost guarantees to hyzer out, which is what I wanted. At least with me being a lefty, I'm going to naturally fade to the right, which doesn't have as steep of a downhill shot as if I was a righty putting towards the basket. So with Allie putting, she does have the downhill a little bit behind her and does catch a little bit of it, but she should have an easy comeback putt.
Margaret with an uphill look.
Just missing it.
Very nice. In for your 4.
Yep.
That's a par.
Looks like all the girls should have fairly easy cleanup shots.
Yeah, that's kind of just what you're looking for out of this hole. It's kind of hard to access because it is downhill and tucked to the left with a fairly fast green if you're coming in from the more accessible right side.
Yeah, to get a good birdie on this hole, you really have to have a great drive and a good upshot to be able to just have that easy 3.
Yeah.
And it looks like everybody took their pars and moving on to hole 11.
Yeah, we're going to play the red tee pad to the B pin. It's 234 feet, but it's going to play more like 320 probably with how uphill it plays as well as the low ceiling.
Yeah, the cedar trees definitely do play a factor on this hole, and you really kind of want to stay away to the left side a little bit. I think Margaret was trying to get an Anheuser shot to go up the hill a little bit more, but unfortunately struck some trees on the left.
Yeah, and that could put her in a difficult spot. You've got the advantage here as a lefty where your bailout zone to the right is much wider and more open.
Yeah, and that's the real goal for me here. Because it's uphill and so low, I really just kind of want my disc just to hyzer out nice and easy to the right to have as simple of a putt as possible.
When you play a course like this that's, difficult and long and wooded, are you thinking birdie or are you looking to just rack up as many pars as possible?
It really depends on the hole. A hole like this, I'm really not trying to look for the 2. I'm really just trying to get the disc up there for a potential 2, which would be great in my mind, or an easy 3. But unfortunately, right there, Margaret hit the first tree in front. Now she'll be throwing 3.
She's going to get out. She's got an opportunity to save her bogey.
Definitely. Sarah, too, unfortunately hit a tree.
Yeah, she's throwing an in of a stud for her short up shots. Unfortunately, she boosted off to the right.
Allie just has an easy upshot putt.
Yeah, just playing smart.
Mm-hmm.
You see that low ceiling come into play.
I was actually pretty surprised that my drive came up that far, but...
Oh, that's never good to see.
No, that was the second one of the day.
You might be further away than when you started, huh?
I was. And with the low ceiling, with the cedars, I had to, putt from the knees, and I knew putting from the knees, it was going to be a tough 3.
So how do you feel about the momentum shift going from birdie to bogey there and watching, some other folks on your card take easier shots?
I really try to not let it bother me, because if it does, then it's going to affect your next couple holes, which in turn could affect your overall strokes. So I just chalked it up to, okay, the disc rolled away. I'll take my 4, move on to the next one. And as you can tell, Allie was the only one that got the 3 on this hole.
Yeah, so she'll take the box going on to hole 12. We're playing the blue tee pad to the A pin. This is a pretty difficult green to access because you have to throw a strong Anheuser, or for you, a lefty, you're going to throw a hyzer. And then the disc or the basket's going to be placed on a hill that slopes up. So even though you've got a lot of room out to the left, you have to make the disc do a lot of things in the air.
You do. And Allie, it looks like she tried to get that high Anheuser, but unfortunately turned it in a little bit too much to the right and hit that tree. Throwing the St. Pro. Unfortunately, I threw this a little bit too wide and hit the left-hand side of the fairway, but had a pretty good shot uphill. And Sarah...
Oh, wow.
That Underworld is such a good disc for her.
She's doing a really great job of understanding what her disc does, and she really trusted it to get into the Anheuser and turn over and glide, but then come out of it at the end.
She really knows to play within her limits and within her game. And Margaret has a great drive.
Cuts through some branches, and then she's going to end up near circle's edge, maybe a little outside.
Yeah. And it's deceiving right there, but it actually is an uphill putt to the basket. Allie's going to really need to throw another high Anheuser here to get up towards the basket.
I think she's going M4, but didn't quite have enough Anheuser on it. She'll fade off to the left side, and I know I've been down there. It's not necessarily easy. We'll see what she has to work with.
Yeah. This was a tweener shot for me, Do I throw a mid-range? Do I throw a putter here? I decided to throw the putter just because it was uphill, gave a little bit of a slower glide than a mid-range.
How do you decide on that, when you're faced with that decision?
It's really how comfortable I feel and what type of shot I need to make. That shot, I just had to stand out a little bit from the tree, and I had a hyzer shot uphill, so I did decide to go with the putter. Now, if I had a little bit more of an Anheuser shot uphill, I'd probably go with the mid.
Okay, just to let it glide out a little bit more?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sarah with a very nice par save. That's great.
Putting for 3.
That's a very good cleanup.
Yeah, nice and easy. So fun fact about Sarah, her and her boyfriend actually locked up her apartment the morning of this event, played this tournament, and then decided to drive across country to explore this great United States. I think they were driving to Michigan after this event.
Yeah, happy trails.
I know, they're living the dream, I wish.
Yeah, just get to go play Frisbee all day. I'm stuck at a job.
I know, stuck at a desk.
So we're moving on to hole 13, and this is kind of just a classic Seneca hole.
It is. It actually is my favorite hole on the entire course. You have the OB Creek that runs all along the left side, and it's really a straight drive and then a dogleg right. And unfortunately, I threw mine a little wide, but thank goodness for that tree to kick it back in bounds.
Yeah, that's very friendly. You're able to use your lefty advantage here.
Certainly. Sarah with such a nice smooth shot and hitting that manhole cover. She's laughing because she asked, where's the basket? And I said, if you land right where that manhole cover is, you'll have an easy shot up towards the basket. And she hit the cover.
Very precise.
I know.
So Margaret's going to leak off to the left here. That's going to be OB. She's going to get that marked by Bill Underwood, who's the spotter. We talked a little bit about him in the first round. He was Seneca Creek State Park's Volunteer of the Year last year. And, one of many volunteers who helps keep up the disc golf course.
He does such a wonderful job. And actually, Mr. Bill has his own shed, too.
Oh, Allie's going to fade out.
Yeah.
So she's going to take another OB stroke for that.
And Margaret's really just going to want to get this Anheuser shot just right in the middle of the fairway to set her up for an easy upshot to the basket, which it looks like she did.
Yeah, it was really good that she committed to that Anheuser. Wasn't necessarily afraid of the OB. Didn't push it too far right.
Yep.
You've got a little backdoor route here.
I do, and I threw my pig. I wanted to throw something a little bit more overstable just to really take the OB out of play on this hole on the left side. And Allie looks like she has a fairly straight shot towards the basket.
She unfortunately doesn't give it enough air, so she's going to be faced with an outside the circle putt.
Yeah. Looks like that's that stud that she threw and had a nice little tickle next to the tree and nestled right under the basket.
Yeah, that's just precision on her first two shots.
Just a little left, but stayed in bounds.
Oh no. Almost good enough.
Almost.
Allie with a good cleanup though.
That one was good enough. Just some easy cleanups here. Andrew, which 9 holes do you feel like is the hardest 9 at Seneca?
It's got to be the middle. The middle is the one that has the most OB with hole 13 and 14. It's got a lot of elevation changes. And I feel like the shots that you have to execute are the most precise.
I would have to agree with you that 10 through 18 is definitely the hardest 9 on the course between the OB, some of the tightly wooded holes.
Yeah. Hole 14 here, we're going to play the white tee pad to the A pin. It's 392 feet. And there's OB down the left side. And if you stray away from that and try to go too far right, there's a hillside that'll block you off too.
Yeah, and it looked like Sarah had a nice shot there, taking the box. Goal is to really just land in the fairway to give yourself a nice upshot. This hole feels a lot longer than what the distance really says.
Margaret's going to throw her T-Rex down the left side. She gets kind of a friendly bump. That left side could have resulted in an OB stroke, but she'll just be in the middle of the fairway. Allie with a great D3 shot. Look at that flip up and glide.
Yeah. Nestled right on the fairway.
So Allie is also my co-TD for this tournament. We talked about in the first video, letting her play. I would take care of the logistics on tournament day. I know she was out here, working on the course, putting up tee signs, trying to make sure our tournament prep was ready. But she also got some time to practice. So I'm glad she did. She's making the most of it.
She is, and I think she's definitely playing much better this round. I think she was able to calm down a little bit, relax, focus on her shots, and you can definitely tell by the score that she is playing better.
Yeah, she puts that one right next to the basket.
Sarah with a nice upshot. She'll have a little bit of an uphill putt. Nothing she can't handle. It looks like I'm trying to make the putt, but really it's a long uphill shot, and I just want to get it right under the basket for an easy 3. With this basket being on the hill, there's no point in my mind, at least, to really run it because you never know what could happen.
Yeah, you've had a couple rollaways already. It's just good to play smart and let the birdies or pars come when they can.
Definitely. Just missed.
So Sarah's probably going to be taking a 4 with that. Allie taps in for her 3.
Mm-hmm. So Andrew, for me, coming into 15 through 18, I know that these next couple holes are a little more righty friendly per se. So I like to have a couple extra strokes in my back pocket, knowing that I might not potentially have a chance to birdie some of these holes where some of the other righties might be able to. And, I just hope that it works out because some of these next holes, it's really about a placement shot for me instead of really trying to go for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. You kind of have the advantage on hole 13, maybe on 14 being able to throw away from the OB. But the shape for, say, hole 15 is going to be a little bit of a hook shape. It's going to turn to the right, but then finish back to the left. That means you kind of just have to hit a landing zone rather than trying to park the basket.
Yeah, and as you can see right here on the drive, that it's a very tightly wooded shot. So luckily, my champ orc just straightened out and was able to land for an easy upshot. Here's Allie with her drive, Team Prodigy.
Not bad at all. I think she's throwing an F5 there.
Yeah. And we want to thank Prodigy Discs for sponsoring the tournament. They provided some wonderful discs in the players pack.
Yeah, they had both fundraiser discs for us as well as some very competitive pricing on tournament gear, tournament discs. And I know it was greatly appreciated by all the players who received those things.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Margaret faded out just a little bit to the left. And Sarah's drive unfortunately kicked a tree and went in the woods. But what a beautiful shot out right into the middle of the fairway, Andrew.
Yeah, that left side is no joke, and she made the most of what she had.
She really did.
So one thing that Allie and I as tournament directors really tried to be aware of is that there were a wide variety of ages, skill levels, and handedness playing this course. So we wanted to make sure that everybody could have a fun experience, feel success on the course. The pros and AMs are going to play some different layouts. Oh, as Margaret gets a roll away. She didn't deserve that at all. So we're going to play a par 62 in this second round for the pros, and then amateurs and juniors are going to play a shorter layout.
Great putt by Sarah. Andrew, I really like that idea because it gives the pros a chance to have must birdie kind of holes, but it also creates a little bit of a challenge for some of the amateur players. And I did like the fact that you did have some longer tees and possibly some longer baskets for round 2 to really extend the course a little bit.
Yeah, Seneca can be played in a lot of different ways because there's so many basket positions, because there's usually three tee pads on every hole. It gives a good range of skill levels that can enjoy the course.
Yeah, it does. This is another really tightly wooded hole that you need a solid shot, a solid execution. For us ladies, it's probably going to be a mid-range or a driver shot. And you really want to stay away on that left side because it does go downhill. So as a righty, as you fade out, it's going to go downhill a little bit more.
Absolutely.
But Allie knows how to play this hole. and had a beautiful shot, maybe about a 40-footer to the basket.
Yeah, I think she threw her M4 for that. We'll see Sara go back to that underworld, and she puts a good move on it, but then as it starts to fade, it goes downhill. She got a good skip, but unfortunately it was more down than straight.
Yeah, luckily that log saved her. Here's Margaret with her drive. And she's throwing a mid-range as well. That one might have been a little bit stable, but it kicked a tree, and she should have a fairly easy putt towards the basket with her trusty homie disc. This one was a wide straddle putt with that large tree to the right. I had to really get around to try to have somewhat of a look.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised that I made that putt, but I'll take it 2 all day.
Yeah, run that one down.
Allie with her birdie look.
Ooh, she gets it to stick.
She did. Another solid 2.
So after taking a 6 on hole 13, she's gone 3-3-2. I mean, it's great to see her come back from a difficult hole. What do you do when you have a rough go of it? How do you get back in the groove?
I really try to just shake it off and just tell myself it's just one hole, Becky. And if you let that mentality stick with you over the next couple holes, then you might not score as well because it's going to be in your head that, oh, I just got a 6 on that last hole. There goes my overall score. So almost reset your brain when you're on the next tee pad and say, all right, let's just focus on this hole.
Yeah, and I guess for you, it's nice to see that you've opened up a 5-stroke lead over your nearest competitor. And you talked about how you don't really keep track of score, but you've gotten those strokes that you wanted going into some righty holes.
I did, and I was pretty pleased with that. And again, like I just said, I'm trying to not get in my own head. On this hole, I'm just trying to get a shot that's going to go straight, because off the tee, it goes slightly uphill, and then it turns to the left and then goes downhill.
Yeah, this is a par 4 that the defining theme is going to be low ceiling. Often you'll see people throw rollers because that's a good way to keep it low. But it's going to be a par 4, 373 feet.
And Sara had a nice shot. She kept it low to avoid the cedar trees.
Yeah, she'll be looking down the left side of the fairway there. Margaret going back to her T-Rex. She puts a good move on it, just maybe not quite high enough.
Yeah. Allie's going to go take the right side of the fairway. Hopefully get a skip down. Give her some extra distance.
Yeah. From there, she may have a clear path to the basket.
Oh, Margaret just turned that over a little bit. She probably want to get that a little bit higher.
It kind of seems like Margaret might be a little nervous. I know she went into this round with a 1-stroke lead over you. And do you feel like, was that evident to you when she was playing?
Not really, to be honest. She didn't really show it, which is a good thing because sometimes you don't want to show all your cards.
Definitely not, especially not if you're nervous. Everyone else is going to smell blood. Sara with a very nice forehand. She's going to leave herself probably 80 to 100 feet.
Yeah. I don't think she was too happy with that shot. Nice little jump putt by Allie.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So here's Sara's third. I think she's going with a dagger here.
Yeah. Nestled right nice towards the basket. Uphill putt.
Oh, not another roll away.
It's stuck, thank goodness.
Oh, there you go.
Allie with about an 8-footer. Nice and easy.
Excellent.
Looks like Margaret's disc is next to a CTP. Is that a CTP hole?
It is. This was a CTP for one of the amateur divisions on their second shot, since this is a par 4. And somebody, I hope they made their putt. That's a pretty good result.
It is a great result. This is a tough hole even for me.
Definitely.
And as you can tell as you're watching this round, that all four of us kind of have different putting styles and how we aim at the basket, the way it releases. It's good to have your own style.
Yeah, it's really neat watching four completely different ways of doing that.
Some people like to straddle, some people are spin putters, some people are push putters. It really is whatever you feel most comfortable with.
Yeah. So on hole 18, it's going to be another par 4. We're playing from the white tee pad to the C pin, 468 feet uphill.
This is another one of those holes for me that I really just want to have a good placement shot. It plays uphill all the way, so it's going to play a lot longer than what the tee sign says.
Definitely. It really is about putting yourself in position to attack on your second and third shots.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite trees on the course on this hole, that little J tree on the left. And Andrew, for this round, didn't the AMs play a shorter basket?
They did. So this hole has 2 baskets on it. The short pin, which is usually in the A spot, you'll see it on the right side of your screen there, is in memorial of Ragnar Overby. He was a beloved member of the community. So when he died a couple years ago, there was a donation made in his honor to buy another basket.
He was a wonderful man. One of the tallest men in disc golf I've ever seen play.
Oh, he was just a giant of a man, but so soft-spoken. I remember hearing a story about him telling a very good player, "You might never beat me at this, or I might never beat you at disc golf, but you'll never be able to do this," while he palmed the outside of a putter.
I could see that.
So that'll put you in a decent spot.
Yeah. Probably about 50, 60 feet.
Margaret really slaps that.
Yeah. She has such a wonderful snap off her shots. I love listening to it. Sarah with her trusty Underworld. Forehand shot. What a beautiful line.
Yeah, really nice there. So you see we're getting back to the parking lot. This is the middle 9 of three 9-hole loops at Seneca Creek State Park. This will give everybody a chance to go back to their cars, refill on water or snacks. What was your plan to combat the heat and 2 long rounds of golf?
My plan was to really drink a 32-ounce Nalgene bottle every 9 holes. I knew that that would help keep me hydrated. I drank some Gatorade at the beginning of the second round just for a little extra electrolytes to keep me going. On hot days like this, it's hard for me to really eat a big lunch, so I try to just have a lot of snacks in my bag for when I'm hungry. I can just grab something on the go.
Yeah, that's great. And now we've got a little showdown here. Who's going to go? A little chicken match.
I'm going to go. No, you're going to go. And I think Allie's going to go. Nice putt. Sarah lining up.
So what's going on here, Becky?
So Sarah wasn't sure if she actually had a falling putt on that, because since she was inside the circle, as you know, when you make a putt, you have to establish balance. And she wasn't sure if she had a falling putt, but as the group consensus, we said that she did not have a falling putt.
Okay. So we're wrapping it up. You've opened up a 6-stroke lead on Allie and Margaret, with Sarah 1 stroke back of them. Thanks again to Rice Properties Group for their sponsorship of this round. They make a big difference in, having tournaments that have sponsors often end up much more successful. So we thank them for sponsoring round 2, sponsoring the video coverage, and look to them for your realty needs in Virginia.
And thank you everybody for watching. Please stay tuned for holes 19 through 27, and please subscribe and like Tea Time Disc Golf.
Thanks again.